With a plethora of handhelds out in the wild, now is the perfect time to start extending your user's handheld experience to their wearable device. My name is Colt McCandless, and the first step to communicating between your handheld and your wearable starts with the Wearable DataLayer API. At its core, the DataLayer API allows for your handheld and wearable to automatically sync a piece of data anytime it's changed. The cool part is that all the heavy lifting to make that happen, like Bluetooth negotiation and data transfer, is handled under the hood, freeing you up to work on more important things. This process works by allowing your devices to take on the role of data sender, data receiver, or both. The sender device sets up a piece of data to be synced, and anytime that data changes, it will be sent over to the receiver. The receiving device, in turn, listens for changes and provides a callback function to notify the app when something's been updated. The core object that's sent between the devices is known as data item, which effectively provides data storage on the device with automatic syncing between the handheld and the wearable. At its base, data item consists of a payload object, which will hold the actual data, as well as a path object that acts as a unique identifier string for this data item, which is important on the receiver side to know which particular piece of data has actually been updated. Data item is great for sending small batches of data back and forth between the wearable and handheld. For example, using the Wear device sensors to gather heart rate information and then send it across to the user's phone, which will then cross-reference it with the past 14 weeks of sensor data and provide the resulting graph back to display on the watch. As a current restriction, the payload of a data item object is designed to handle small amounts of data, I'll say around 100K or so. So if you want something more powerful, you need to attach an asset object to the data item. This allows you to send large blobs of binary data over Bluetooth transport like images. For example, let's say the handheld app downloaded an image, resized it, and sent it over to the wearable for display. The handheld handles all the heavy lifting and processing, while the Wear device gets to display the simple results of it. The cool thing about asset objects is that they handle caching of data to prevent retransmission and conserve Bluetooth bandwidth, meaning there can be only one instance of an asset cached, and if you try to send it multiple times, it won't waste bandwidth or battery. On the simpler side of things, the DataLayer API also provides the Message API, which are ideal to do common tasks like telling your Wear device to start an activity or telling the phone to skip to the next song. By default, these messages are generally of the remote procedure call nature. That is, once they're shipped off, there's no validation that the message was actually received. If you want something more complex, however, you can set up the messages to work in request-response model, where one side of the connection will send a message to the other device, which in turn does some work and then responds in turn with the response. The coolest use cases are the one that you have yet to come up with. To get started, swing by the API page, which will contain all the info that you need to start syncing devices, and don't forget to check out the Android developer homepage for more great tips and tricks. With these more powerful data APIs, there's new opportunities to get your devices working with each other in new and interesting ways. My name is Colt McCandless. Now go build better apps.